Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about Marconics energy, what it is, and how it can help you with your ascension process and with raising your vibration so that you feel better and your life takes on the appearance of the way you want it, the real reality that you're looking for. First off, let me talk about why energy healings actually work. Science, as most people know, have pretty much determined and proved that energy is what the universe is made out of. Everyone is made from energy. Everything, every piece of paper, dog, cat, person, the chair you sit in, and the telephone you may be looking at right now. And because of that, every time that you're out of whack, which is, the technical term, and you're not feeling well, either emotionally or mentally, where you're maybe a little foggy, or physically, of course, disease or injury, or for whatever reason, it means that your energy is just in chaos. Things aren't going as smoothly as you'd like them to. Your vibration and the plant's vibration are totally different. Plants are a little heavier than we are. And chairs and tables are also heavier and slower vibration than what we are. But the higher vibration is someplace that actually you want to go to because it's what makes you feel better. And even though we're both human beings, hopefully, unless you're not one, we are vibrating at different speeds. We are not exactly the same. We each have our own normal, so to speak. My normal might be right here. Your normal might be lower or in a general vicinity or higher than mine, but we're all within our own range of normal vibration. And we rarely stay at the top and hopefully rarely at the bottom for any length of time. But it does make sense if you are indeed not feeling so well, if you can manipulate the energy that we're all made from, and you can tune it in to the proper vibration for you, hopefully a little higher than you so you can slow down that chaos, you should be able to raise your vibration and start the ball rolling for healing and feeling better and more connection to source. As we shift out of the three-dimensional and we are more connected to spirit, more connected to, some people call it the ascension process. As we get more and more and we raise up higher and higher, the obviousness between the people that are stuck in the lower dimension and the lower frequency, or I should say vibration, and the higher vibration becomes more and more obvious. And the people that are trying to get into the higher vibration, it can really be painful. Let me tell you what the scientists, have actually discovered about feeling and emotion. The lower vibrations that we deal with, what it feels like is dense. So if you're angry, if you're depressed or grieving, or if you hate someone, those are very, very low vibrational. They're dense. They don't make you feel like you want to jump around and dance. Let's just put it that way. So most of us don't want to hang out in those energies. The opposite, the science actually measured the vibration to, besides the lower ones, pretty much the opposite ones are things like joy, love, hope, peace, and the fifth one they talk about the most is gratitude. And gratitude doesn't feel like an emotion, and yet it is a feeling we get. When you're grateful for something, it does raise you up. And people do talk about writing in gratitude journals. And I never understood why until I understood what science was looking at. Because if you look at it enough and you're grateful for enough things, it keeps raising your vibration. And the more you're grateful for, the more you have to be grateful for. It's what you're focusing on. Getting a little off subject here, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Human beings well, I would say pretty much all of us, if we had a choice, we would want to stick around in those really higher vibrational energies and the feelings, wouldn't you think? The joy, the love, and that's how you can tell you're in a higher vibration. If you're down lower, you don't always notice it while you're there. Sometimes it's really obvious. It's obvious to everyone around you. But as a human being, we really would rather stick in the higher ones. Now, I know that you probably know a few people that you would say, no, Carol. I know people who would love to complain. They love to be really horrible in life. They don't want to be happy because they wouldn't know what to do with it if they were. You're right. I know a couple of those people myself. But if we rethink that and we think, maybe it's not so much they wouldn't choose happiness and joy and peace. It's just that they don't know that they can be that way because they're so stuck in the lower vibrations. People who are in clinical depression don't know they can get out. People who grieve for years and years, they have trouble moving out of that lower vibration. They're stuck, for lack of a better word. And because they're stuck, sometimes it gets stuck in our body as well. So we may end up with a number of symptoms that we're really surprised when they show up. We don't know what they are. And it can be a little scary if we don't know what in the world is going on. The kind of symptoms that might show up are things like headaches that just keep coming back. Sleep problems for no particular reason that you know of. It's just suddenly you sleep all the time or you never sleep. And in either case, you might be totally exhausted all the time. Weight gain or loss, and you haven't done anything differently. I hate that weight gain thing. What's that all about anyway? They always blame age. And I have to tell you, I don't think that has anything to do with it. There's also other symptoms like digestion problems. There's depression and flu symptoms that just keep going on and on. There's even such things as dizziness, falling, and brain fog. I had this one for a short time where I would do something stupid. I considered it stupid because I couldn't figure out why I did it. It always happened at night when I was tired. I take off, my dirty socks and I throw them in the garbage can. Generally, I caught it right before they went in the basket, but not all the time. And a couple of times when I was doing my laundry, I found toilet paper rolls, the empty ones, in the laundry. Now, granted, those two are right next to each other, but I've never ever done that before. And it happened 4 or 5 times, one or the other. I had no idea what was going on. And it was indeed a little scary. Now, people go to the doctor for these things. And the doctors may say, I need more tests. And what they're really saying is, I have no clue what's the matter with you. You might be imagining things, but let me take more tests so I don't have to say, I don't know what's going on. That's also the time that people start coming to energy healers. When they don't know how to help these odd things that are going on. And I will say that a lot of times, and if you look them up online and you go through some of these symptoms, they're not just from lower vibration. They're from, but they are called, in many cases, Ascension symptoms. Because what it means, basically, is that your body is trying to raise up, and your spirit, and your healing is all trying to raise up, raise a higher vibration. And there's something stuck in the lower vibration and you can't, so you're pulling apart. There's the lower vibration and the higher going, and that's when the symptoms happen. And they start with the emotions generally, but sometimes they don't. All of a sudden, you don't know what's going on and something happens. Marconics is one that actually came into being 5 or 6 years ago at the time of this video. And it came in specifically to help people with this ascension, with these symptoms that come on, raising ourselves from the 3-dimensional lower density where people are angry and fight all the time and they're more violent, and raise them up to be more in the higher vibration and the higher dimensions. Besides that, people come to energy healers for all sorts of reasons. And Marconics is good for those reasons as well as the Ascension symptoms. I used to be a Reiki master. I guess I still am technically. I was for 20 years. I used Reiki as a master, 25 as a practitioner, but 25 total, I should say. Because of that, and I loved using Reiki. I'm not going to want you to think that Reiki is a horrible energy. It is a lovely, soft energy. And I used it for many years. And it gave some really nice, calming relief to some people. It's especially good for cancer patients who are going through chemotherapy and getting nauseous. But I switched over to Marconics because something about it called to me. I guess it's the vibration of the name or something, because I do have people coming to me now that say, Marconics, I don't know what it is, but I want it. Just tell me what it is, but it doesn't matter because I'm coming to you anyway. And those people are pretty incredible. They are so in tune with what they need to hear that they're there, right out even me explaining what's going on. The Marconics is a higher vibrational energy than I've ever dealt with before. It feels like it's also coming from a higher place when I'm bringing the energy for the person that I'm working with. And in me, as a matter of fact, it's multidimensional. And not only that, it raises the vibration of each person, and it never goes down to zero. Because not only in the Reiki that I gave, but also in some of the other energy healing arts that I received, every time the practitioner would work on someone, you give them the energy and it goes into the body for a while and it comes out 24 to 48 hours later in every instance that I've heard of. Marconics doesn't do that. It goes into the body and it stays there. And then the next time you work on it, it raises you up a little higher. And then the same thing happens time after time after time. Every time that you touch Marconics, it raises your vibration up just a little higher. Now this also, Marconics helps with those ascension symptoms because they start shifting your energy field and the body that you have. It shifts the energy and higher and lets you vibrate out at a different rate of speed. Besides that, of course, it does help you in your everyday life, even if you don't believe in any of that stuff, because you can come to someone not knowing what's going on and just maybe wanting your life differently and better, and it will help shift you to places that maybe you've never known that you wanted to go before. You just always knew there was more. The best thing about raising your vibration, no matter how you do it, it doesn't have to be Marconics, but it's like a gift to everyone around you, because when you raise your vibration up and you're happier, or you're laughing, you're having some joy in your life. I don't know if you've noticed, but when people are laughing, people around them smile. They start feeling the joy that person is feeling. It's called entrainment. Your vibration or your level entrains other people to you. So they kind of come up to where you're at. So every time you raise your vibration, people living with you may raise up theirs too. It's kind of not fair because you're doing all the work and they're getting the benefit too. But when you say you can't change other people and you shouldn't try, in a way, this is doing it anyway, because you do work on yourself. And the other people, it's true, do get some of the benefit. The only time this doesn't work is when the other person doesn't want. They want to be stuck. They don't want to move forward. Then they may move out of your life. But I'm going to pull this percentage out of the hat because I don't know scientifically how much percentage it is. But in my practice, I think once the person has left, that was important to them, someone like a spouse or a significant other. But everyone else that wasn't important, they shook away and they were okay with that. It was sad for them when the when the significant other left, the one time it happened. So it's like way over 90%, over 95 in my estimation. But Marconics itself, as I had said previously, is a pretty new modality. Most of the people that practice it are on the East Coast. There's some in Texas, some in Japan. There's 2 in Australia, unless there are more at this point. And there are a few in Great Britain. In California, where I'm at, I think there are only 2 that are advertised on the website at this moment through Marconics.com. But the rest of them aren't practicing practitioners. They just did it for themselves. So if you're interested in a session, there aren't too many people you can go to. But the good thing is, out of the 3 levels of Marconics, the first one, the no touch, you can call any practitioner that's practicing because they can send it remotely to you, no matter where you are. And I have clients out of state. So the no touch is the first level. The second is recalibration. And the third is the I am merge. The I am merge has very few practitioners because they keep that with just the people that are mostly in charge and a few teachers surrounding that right now. But I am a recalibration practitioner and I can do both the first and the second level of Marconics. So let me tell you what a no touch is like. You would come in person if you can, 1 hour. We talk a little before. You have your session on the massage table for 35 or 40 minutes. And then when you get off the massage table, we discuss whatever happened and any integration we can do at that moment for you. There is a protocol that we do, or we walk around the table numerous times, helping you to shift your body template and adjust to higher vibration. And you do have a chance during all of these to connect to your source at a higher level and a deeper level, however you want to look at it. The other thing about the no touch is that it is an ongoing therapy. You can do it as many times as you like. I have a couple of people who go to therapy and they raise up the things, whatever the problem is to them, to their conscious mind. And then in the past, they've gotten sick quite a bit. But instead, they come to me, both of them come every other week, and they start clearing the stuff out of the cells of their body. Because once they become aware of it, they have all of this underlying stuff that's stuck that makes them sick a lot of times. So they work with me, and the Marconics shifts it out so they don't have to get sick. Or rarely do they get sick at any depth. The second level is recalibration. And recalibration is one and done. It's a one-time only permanent attunement of your energy field. You do come as part 1 and part 2, also in person. And I've had people spend the night at bed and breakfasts or Airbnbs because they come far enough, but they want to be able to do both of them. They have to be within 24 to 48 hours and no more than 72. I like doing it the next day, if possible, to do the second part. 2 1-hour sessions. Most of the time they go a little longer, just because most of the time people want to talk afterwards. The results can be pretty amazing, but the basic results that happen for everyone is that we work on releasing all of the stuff that's, the news you hear and you go, oh my God, what's going on? And you get a little frantic, you worry, all of that stuff from the outside world, you wash that away. And sometimes you can get a little anxious again later, but generally it doesn't bother you as much later after we wash away the big layer that you're holding on to of what's happening today in the world. The second thing that happens is that we uncap your chakras and release. Your chakras get bigger and your energy field gets wider. And when that happens, you're uncapping some of that karma that's stuck in your field. So up to 51% of it starts integrating out releasing and moving through. And I think one of the best parts is that it aligns and balances your physical, your emotional, and your mental bodies so that you have more peace and you feel like you have more balance in your life. You also, like I said, with every single one of these, connect deeper to your source and to your higher self. And this one is even more of a deeper level generally than the no-touch session. Besides the results I just mentioned, the higher vibration that you stay at shows up in a different way in your reality, differently for each person. So one person may suddenly start sleeping better. They may be feeling a little happier. Life might be a little more rosy. It might seem better. Your relationships may shift. People may become closer to you. People might start coming up to you that you don't know. Other times, people out of the blue will show up from your past to be healed, or maybe people you don't know start talking to you and they have an opportunity for you in your business or in other ways for you that you never would have thought of doing or that you've always wanted to do. There's all sorts of things that happen. Now, sometimes I do work with some clients, and some people decide that they need a little more help in between each session. So what happens is that, and I'm not trying to sell this to you, I just want to let you know that sometimes having an integration with someone in between the no touches or the no touch and then the recalibration, and then after the recalibration, you can continue to have the no touch if you want to keep connecting to the energy. And I personally find that it really helps speed people's growth and their integration, because some people take a lot of work to get through some of these integrations, to release some of the stuff they've been dragging around. And if they do that, they need to talk it out. They need some intuitive help. And so sometimes that is a choice people make. They decide this is something that wants to happen. And when that happens, it does move you faster. But the Marconics will do it without that. Marconics is something that will speed your ascension, your growth, and your shift to a higher vibration. And it's something I hope you'll consider, because if you feel called to do it, there's a reason. The other thing, some people think it's malarkey. One of those old words, malarkey. It's okay, because not everyone's right for this. Not everyone will want this, and not everyone is ready for it. But if you are, take the leap, because you will have a huge shift in your life. Thank you for listening. I'm Carol Deshane, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and certified Marconics energy recalibration practitioner. I hope you have a better understanding of Marconics, especially energy healing in general, but Marconics, of course, specifically. If you'd like to hear more about any of my other videos, please click on subscribe at the bottom and also the bell notification so you know the next time that you have an opportunity to listen to me speak. Thank you for listening today. And also you can go to my website at www.connecttojoy.com, which will be below. I also speak there about energy clearings for your home, which is a great connection and with the Marconics. And that explains there on the website, as well as the True You package, which is all about the coaching between the sessions and the sessions as well. Thank you again. Until next time, bye-bye.